along with a variety of joint force assignments and staff positions through the Department of the Army level. He is a proven leader and hero with a multitude of combat and operational deployments in support of operations ranging from Desert Shield and Desert Storm to Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation Enduring Freedom, and Operation Inherent Resolve. Please join me in welcoming an outstanding soldier and leader, General Paul Funk.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. And I'm an American soldier. It is great to be here. So but the motto of this great place and our great and happens to be victory starts here. Let me just have you, all the veterans in the crowd, stand up, because that's where really victory started, right there. So I'm an amazingly proud member of this great organization, and since 1916, for over 102 years, Fort Jackson has carried out its sacred responsibility of forging America's Army by transforming America's young volunteers into competent, professional soldiers. Fort Jackson is literally a place where a grandson can follow his grandfather in service to our great nation. You see our great commanding general here, General Bigelow, sitting right up out in front. His grandfather was a private here at Fort Jackson, and he's now the commander. How cool is that? And that tradition of service to the nation continues to this day. You are our Army's major production center for basic combat training. Training in excess of 48,000 basic training soldiers every year. More than 50% of the Army's total requirement. Biggs, thank you for inviting me to preside over this graduation ceremony and to participate in this important event with so many other outstanding young soldiers and their families. I'm proud to be here today with all of you. Distinguished guests, veterans, soldiers and civilians of Fort Jackson, graduates, family and friends, thank you for joining us today. We're also honored here to have an inspiring leader with us today, Staff Sergeant David Bellavia. During the Second Battle of Fallujah in November of 2004, while serving with Task Force 22 Infantry, the Ramrods of the 1st Infantry Division, America's 1st Division, the Big Red One, Staff Sergeant Bellavia single-handedly rescued an entire squad, wiped out an insurgent stronghold, and saved several members of his platoon. For his actions, he was recently awarded our nation's highest recognition for valor, the Congressional Medal of Honor. Please join me in a huge round of applause for an American hero. I'd also like to recognize the cadre of the 2nd Battalion, 13th Infantry Regiment, the Champion Battalion, named after the Battle of Champion Hill during the Vicksburg Campaign during the Civil War. And everyone who worked so hard to lead, inspire, and mentor these young soldiers through their basic training. Next, I'd like to recognize an important group that definitely deserves a little recognition as well. The parents, teachers, family, and friends who have raised, supported, and encouraged all of these young men and women. And probably kicked a few in the backside once in a while. You certainly deserve a share of the credit of helping them get this far. Ladies and gentlemen, please give me a big round of applause for the families, friends, and cadre here today. Okay, now want you all on the field out there. I know the drill sergeants will hate this, but I want you all to stand at ease a little bit. Now, to these young men and women, the soldiers that are graduating today, congratulations. You made it. You can be justifiably proud of your accomplishments. You have trained hard. You have demonstrated your proficiency with individual warrior tasks to form the foundational skills required to be part of the most successful team in history. Now you have one final task today: to survive this graduation ceremony without falling out. Fortunately, I have a short speech. The young men and women of this graduating class are America's finest. And that's not just a slogan, it is in fact a fact. We are graduating 13 soldiers with master's degrees, 27 soldiers with bachelor's of degrees, and 40 soldiers with associate's degree. We even have a graduate with a professional artist's degree. This class includes the richness and diversity that has been the strength of this great nation since its beginnings over 243 years ago. EMTs, firefighters, parole officers, architects, civil engineers, electricians and welders, farmers and teachers, dental assistants, carpenters, and even a licensed beekeeper. We have always been a nation of immigrants, and this class certainly reinforces that point. Just listen to where these young men and women come from: Guam, Ghana, Togo, Puerto Rico, Lebanon, India, Vietnam, Tajikistan, Colombia, El Salvador, Nicaragua, the Philippines, Cameroon, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, St. Kitts, Jamaica, Myanmar, Trinidad, Canada, Mexico, Nigeria, Senegal, China, the Ukraine, Tanzania, Cuba, Liberia, and Thailand. But today is not just about the past. Today is a culmination, but it is also a beginning. Your training is far from complete. And my promise to you as the TRADOC commander is that we will maintain a laser focus on preparing you to be a warrior and on preparing you to fulfill your oath to support and defend our Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. As you continue on your journey to your first operational assignment, let me offer a few thoughts on soldiering that will serve you well, not only in the Army, but throughout your life. You will soon be joining an Army team, and your fellow soldiers will expect you to be well trained, to be a team player, and to earn their trust. Over more than 40 years on the dusty trail, I've learned a few fundamentals. I call them Funk's fundamentals, and there are 40 of them. But I'd ask you to only remember 4. First of all, the Army is a people business. It is, in fact, our greatest strength. The diversity I described, the people you see, and the people around us. It is, in fact, the strength of our nation that we are an all-volunteer force of a diverse nature. Always secure yourself first is number 2. You will know what right looks like. Even when no one is looking, take care of yourself. Take care of your teammates. It isn't weakness to ask for help if needed, and taking care of each other is a foundation of teamwork. High standards, positive outlook, and excellence are contagious. That's what it means to be part of the greatest team, undefeated for 244 years, and you are now another step in that great lineage. Finally, for all of those who might consider themselves to be huge leaders and alone and unafraid, every time you think you're important, try ordering around somebody else's dog. Think about that for a minute. It's all about being part of the team. It's all about building on a sense of humility. And it's not our egos that count, but our professionalism, our dedication to one another, and to our mission that matters. So I'd like to conclude my remarks with a request for all of you in the stands here today. More than just a request, really. It's a call to action. Parents, families, and friends should all feel justifiably proud of all the important role you have played in making this graduation a reality. But you will continue to play an even more important role in the years ahead. Please help me spread the word on the value, even on the necessity, of service to our great nation. Service in the military or service outside the military. Please encourage your friends and neighbors to consider not just freedoms we enjoy, but the responsibility to protect those freedoms. Help me spread the message of national service, of service to our nation and our communities and to one another. Once again, to the soldiers on the field, all of us are tremendously proud of all of you. Now go forth and keep America safe. And remember, victory starts here. Thank you.
You have become what you set out to be, a soldier in the United States Army. The Soldier's Creed is your declaration of your unshakable commitment to the ideals this nation was founded upon and will continue to guarantee. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Private Cadence Kisco leads the soldiers standing before you in a reciting of the Soldier's Creed. Please be seated. In consideration of those around you, we ask that you please remain seated and in the bleachers until all soldiers have passed the reviewing stand and the conclusion of the ceremony is announced. Once the ceremony has concluded, family members of awardees, please meet your soldier under the canopy located to the left of the bleachers. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are approached by the American flag, it is appropriate to rise and remain standing until it has passed to your right. Troops, Major Albert L. Ross, and the battalion staff. The 282nd Army Band is commanded by Chief Warrant Officer 3, George T. Bauer from Clemson, South Carolina. The drum major is Staff Sergeant Ronald Bartholomew Mullins from Charleston, South Carolina. Company A is commanded by Captain Joseph Benzinger from Shepherd, Michigan. 1st Platoon is led by 1st Lieutenant Marcus Brown from Camden, South Carolina. The Senior Drill Sergeant is Drill Sergeant Keisha Jackson from Atlanta, Georgia. Second Platoon is led by 2nd Lieutenant Tyler Jensen from Dundee, New York. The Senior Drill Sergeant is Drill Sergeant Michael Robinson from Gary, Indiana. Third Platoon is led by 1st Lieutenant Christopher Scott from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The Senior Drill Sergeant is Drill Sergeant Benjamin Cross from West Union, Ohio. Fourth Platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Megan Ilimaliota from Iola, Kansas. The Senior Drill Sergeant is Drill Sergeant Brian Miller from West Palm Beach, Florida. In the rear of the formation is the company First Sergeant, First Sergeant Tito Vasquez from Caguas, Puerto Rico. Company B is commanded by Captain Andre Hernandez from Elk Grove, Illinois. 1st Platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Lashifa Rogers from Bennettsville, South Carolina. The Senior Drill Sergeant is Drill Sergeant Marquilo Brooks from Wilmot, Arkansas. 2nd Platoon is led by 1st Lieutenant Joseph McNeil from Beaverton, Oregon. The Senior Drill Sergeant is Drill Sergeant Monica Geraldo from Lima, Colombia. Third Platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Sierra Younts from Niles, Michigan. The Senior Drill Sergeant is Drill Sergeant Robert Johnson from Champaign, Illinois. Fourth Platoon is led by 2nd Lieutenant Justin Hewitt from Rochester, New York. The Senior Drill Sergeant is Drill Sergeant Natasha Mormon from Columbia, South Carolina. In the rear of the formation is the company First Sergeant, First Sergeant Adam Kohler from Plummer, Idaho. Ladies and gentlemen, you are reminded that as you are approached by the American flag, it is appropriate to rise and stand until it has passed to your right. Company C is commanded by Captain Jay Harris from Atlantic City, New Jersey. First platoon is led by First Lieutenant Alexander Kim from Morgansville, New Jersey. The senior drill sergeant is Drill Sergeant Kyle Williams from Sacramento, California. Second platoon is led by Second Lieutenant Ziana Ferretti from Tulsa, Oklahoma. The senior drill sergeant is Drill Sergeant Malik Gaines from Houston, Texas. Fourth platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Carl Pittenger from Akron, Ohio. In the rear of the formation is the First Sergeant, First Sergeant Kendrick Owai from Albuquerque, New Mexico. The battalion color guard is led by Drill Sergeant Doris Johnson from Pensacola, Florida. Company D is commanded by Captain Avery Holmes from Greensburg, Louisiana. First platoon is led by First Lieutenant Cristiana Sioni from Los Angeles, California. The senior drill sergeant is Drill Sergeant Sade Harris from San Diego, California. Second platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Roman Arguello from Greeley, Colorado. Third platoon is led by Second Lieutenant Aaron Smith from Fairfax, Virginia. The senior drill sergeant is Drill Sergeant William Rostellini from DeBary, Florida. Fourth platoon is led by First Lieutenant Maria Weinhoff from Oak Ridge, North Carolina. The senior drill sergeant is Drill Sergeant Hilson Melendez from Woodbridge, Virginia. In the rear of the formation is the company First Sergeant Janet Gary from Los Angeles, California. Company E is commanded by Captain Ivy Williams from Richmond, Virginia. First platoon is led by Drill Sergeant David Tolliver from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Second platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Brian West from Howell, Michigan. Third platoon is led by Second Lieutenant Jonathan Arguello from Hartford, Connecticut. The senior drill sergeant is Drill Sergeant Gennaro Gutierrez from Cape Coral, Florida. Fourth platoon is led by First Lieutenant Delvon Lewis from Atlanta, Georgia. The senior drill sergeant is Drill Sergeant Yancy Nunez from San Diego, California. In the rear of the formation is the First Sergeant Corey Gibbs from Goldsboro, North Carolina. Platoon is commanded by Captain Robert Payne from Austin, Texas. 1st Platoon is led by 2nd Lieutenant Olivia Halsey from Seattle, Washington. The Senior Drill Sergeant is Drill Sergeant Melville Campbell from Bronx, New York. Second Platoon is led by 1st Lieutenant Alex Johnson from Farmington, Connecticut. The Senior Drill Sergeant is Drill Sergeant Sarah Terra from Memphis, Tennessee. Third Platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Alex Bruce from Marion, Iowa. Fourth Platoon is led by 1st Lieutenant Keith Peterson from Winchester, Indiana. The Senior Drill Sergeant is Drill Sergeant Anthony Webb from Pocahontas, Arkansas. In the rear of the formation is the company First Sergeant Andre Jenkins from Charleston, South Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Army song and remain in the bleachers until the conclusion of the ceremony has been announced.